In the late 1980s, when we did the presentation on high road and low road scenarios, it was based on research in the mid-80s by the Anglo scenario team led by Michael O'Dowd and Bobby Godsell. And they were very prophetic because they said there are two crossroads ahead for South Africa. The first one is a political crossroads, where we have to negotiate a proper constitution with the real leaders in South Africa. And of course that did happen in 1990. It was actually sooner than we anticipated. But then they said that there's a second crossroads, which is the economic crossroads, which will probably be 20 years down the line. And if we don't create an inclusive economy, which has a fairly high economic growth rate, we can undo all the good work that was done at the political crossroads. And that is where we are at the moment. We are at the economic crossroads, and it is absolutely vital that we now put in place economic policies that create an inclusive economy, because right now we have an exclusive economy. And I know Julius Malema talks about economic freedom. I believe in it as much as he does, but I have a slightly different approach to creating economic freedom. That approach is creating a new generation of entrepreneurs and small businesses. I want Jacob Zuma to change his mantra from creating 5 million jobs by 2020 to creating 1 million new businesses. Because the reality is, with the changing nature of work, the only way you can create 5 million jobs in any country now is through the growth of small business. I think the statistic in the world that 70 to 80% of the jobs currently being created in America, Europe, wherever you look, are in small business. And so it should really be the subject of an earnest conversation between the government and business. The political cadesses really changed our history, because before that we could have had a civil war, but we didn't. You know, common sense prevailed, and South Africans, when they sit around a negotiating table, as they did, see common sense and they negotiate creative solutions. We did that for the politics, but politics isn't what really influences people's lives. It's the economy. And I believe that we should be using that formula, which was such a success in the early 90s, right now to try and navigate the economic crossroads. So I would love to see government calling for an economic CODESA with certain captains of industry, particularly those that actually created new businesses, in order to discuss what the optimum platform is for small business in South Africa. The flag today is not so much the point I was making last time, which was about structure, and that people really like personalized service, and therefore they want somebody with a mobile phone number that they can ring 24/7 to sort out their problem. This year, I think the real flag is more to do with social media and the fact that the advertising game is changing. And, you know, I would be very interested to know exactly how agencies are mixing the sort of classical approach to advertising in newspapers and on television with promoting products and services on social media. And how seriously are they taking it? Because I quote my story about newspapers, that, you know, newspapers have had a really tough time, and it's those companies that have spotted that and gone into internet games that have done well. And Naspers is probably the best example with its purchase of 10 cents in China, because it's now the biggest company in South Africa.